o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7,
Hello, my name is Bill Haley, and this is for Haley 2024, The Movement's Government Reform Ideas. Now, this is a Q&A, question and answer. So I just finished in the spring or summer of 2021 discussing a lot of my Constitution, a lot of my government reforms in the Constitution Forum. So there's a lot of questions out there about some of the issues. So I just want to do a quick Q&A about some of the answers, and we'll try to keep this down to about 5 minutes and do about 4 or 5 of these videos. So what about government departments not listed here? So I have 30 sectors, and if you don't see your department or a certain department within the 30 sectors or doesn't fit nicely, it's going to go into one of them. The parent sector board will address that. So that's that question there. Is this the final draft of the Constitution? Obviously not. I need a lot of feedback. It's a good starting point. Already adjusted it significantly one time. I think this is about 95% complete. We might need a little bit more fine-tuning for little inconsistencies or some conflicts of interest or something. Okay, is this the final draft? Okay, we got that. I think we're 98% of the way there. Just small edits to address some issues. Does this need to be all passed at once? No. A lot of these reforms can be addressed separately. We can switch to a charity system without changing everything else. Nobody's going to want to go, not too many people are going to want to go to my military free enterprise system quite yet. They're going to have to see how other things are working. A lot of people are going to want to go to my private police system, even though it's a lot better accountability, but they're going to be shy about going to those. I don't want some of those concerns to stop the education reform or the welfare reform or the environmental reform. A lot of reforms are out there. A lot of things can be done separately. The rating system being set up in different ways. We don't have to go all the way to any one of these. There's a lot of things I have. I have 12 different constitutional amendments that change our current Constitution in a significant way. And actually, it almost goes back to what the Constitution was meant to do. But it takes, it brings back the Constitution more towards the original form and gives the Constitution real power to stop it from being abused the way it is right now. Let's go. There's videos out there on that I have for that. Okay. What are the biggest 4 reforms? So what's some of the biggest 4 reforms? Competitive governance is the biggest, no doubt about it. Have competitive governance. Separation of 30 sectors, all government power into 30 sectors, that's huge. There's no doubt about that. That is tremendously big. Had to have focus, whether you're election or your selection or what you're doing. You can be conservative in one and liberal in another, libertarian in another sector. So your views on the war power, diplomats might be different than the police, different than the environment, different than the education and the like. So you get to pick per sector. Welfare to charity is tremendously large. And then the selected school boards, free enterprise education reform is significant. It will, those are the 4 biggies. No doubt about it. Those are big. Now, the military reform is huge. The police reform, going private police is huge. Going private courts and private prisons, all these things are huge. Get rid of Social Security and Medicare in a responsible way. Transition over to free enterprise. There's tremendous other reforms in here, but I would have to say these are the 4 biggest. Monetary system, I have a phenomenal competitive currency system. So look at that. What areas will have the largest impact? Education, welfare, free enterprise, less political control. No doubt about it. It's huge. Are we going to have accountability? Significantly more than we currently have. Our current representatives, our current House of Delegate members, our current state legislative, our current congressmen, they have too much on their plate, and their incentives are not the incentives to govern the best they can. There's a lot of things that are wrong with the current system, and this has a lot to bring it back. Accountability is going to be huge. Free market accountability, the rating system, it's just military authorization agencies, law enforcement authorization agencies, authorize anybody with inherent government power. People focus directly on that, and you have representatives focused directly on that. The rating system stops lower integrity, stops fraud and the like. So it's huge. Okay, I'm gonna end that question and answer with about 5 minutes. So look through my website to get to see how all these things are intertwined. And until the next video.